Hello, pilots, and welcome back to Flight Academy. It's Game 6 of Season 6, and this is brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we have a Ben off. We've got Ben versus Benji, and just by coincidence, joining us for commentary, we have...
It's a Ben.
It's a Ben. It is, in fact, Ben of the Rebel variant, flying the E-Wing and A-Wing combo on the board. So welcome along, Ben. Always nice to have you on the channel, especially for Flight Academy, especially when we're watching your game, because you can talk us through all of the highs and lows as we're going along. So
Yeah, this is quite a scary list to go up against. I really like Benji's list, and it's great to see a Skurg bomber make a reappearance.
again, we were talking about this before we started recording. Love the Skurg. I loved it when it came in first edition. I think obviously it was hilarious in first edition because it was on a small base. So it really works well on that medium base. And just look at what it's packed with. Captain Nim is scary. We've seen him blow up so much of the board already in other games. So rated on the attack there as well. No damage through in that initial engagement, but that's really just sort of dipping a toe in the water, seeing what everything is all about and seeing what we can actually get in there. But whilst we've got you, I wanted to have a quick talk about your list. So we have Corin Horn. We haven't actually seen him on the channel very much. In fact, I think the last time we saw him was, I believe, Season 1 of Flight Academy, where he was flown. So, a cool choice to see, Corin. I really like him, especially with your R3 Astromechs. Really makes a lot of sense. Any particular reason why we've gone with the A-Wing E-Wing combo as opposed to the sort of more traditional X-Wings?
So I went with Corin because I think Corin's just generally a solid chassis, and is actually the first pilot that I flew in a X-Wing tournament. So going right back to my roots, I think it's just a solid piece. 3 agility, three stats across the board, 6 points. That's going to be difficult to kill, and I think the main reason to bring him is the double modded shot, that ability to get target locks off right at the start, to get 2 out there so you don't need to flick between the 2. It's just going for that alpha strike. And then Tycho, I mean, I love Tycho, the original one. So I just wanted to try him out, see what he's like on the stream. Looks quite fun. See if I can get some crazy proton rocket shenanigans off, which proves to be more difficult than I thought.
Yeah, you lose the double reposition by having...
Yeah, the double reposition really hurts, and it's really difficult to line up a proton rocket with only a barrel roll.
I feel the same with the Soontir Fel with sensitive controls as well. You lose something when you don't have the ability to boost barrel roll in the same.
Yeah. My other thoughts was, I mean, Tycho gets an extra shield. It's, Corin's the slow rolling forwards, going to double tap you. Tycho's a bit more of a AC sort of pilot, and having 2 I5s, I thought was pretty good flexibility, and maybe a bit more stronger than having, for example, a Corin Horn and maybe a lesser X-Wing.
Yeah, I mean, having the 2 I5s is going to be great because it gives you that option of which one, if they're in a position, which one is going to be beneficial to move first. Like, if you're thinking, right, I know both of these are going to bump, but which is going to be the better bump this turn? you have that choice. You can make that choice by having them at the same initiative. And it was always a big ethos of mine is I tried to fly ships that had similar initiatives. Obviously, I've done completely different in this season, but generally that's where I look to go. Oh, that's a good evade there. So that would be Jostero's ability there to do a bonus attack when a ship suffers damage without evading. So that would be the seismic charges onto Tycho. And Nim using ablative plating to say, not today, thank you. But yeah, no, it's a really cool list. And also, if you haven't, you don't really get to see the full paint job on there, but if you check out our Instagram, we put up some pictures of the ships the other day. Those two are actually painted like battered New York yellow taxis. So if you're curious to see the ships a little bit closer, for any of the ones that are repainted, check out our Instagram at Out of Arc, and you'll be able to see those ships in much finer detail. They look really cool with matching dials as well. Andy, who's running Vermeil and Soontir, has done a fantastic job in painting those. A couple of damage has gone into Nim from Corin there. Unfortunately, the A-Wing is just 2 red dice is where the A-Wing suffers. Green dice, on the other hand, is not where the A-Wing suffers. So who is your priority target in this game then? Obviously, I can see Nim's 6 points and a lot of health. Jostero gets the double tapping though and is only 4 points. So where would you say that your first target, when you first set your ships up and saw the list, who did you think I need to take them out first?
My initial thought was Nim. Nim is pretty scary. He's only got 1 agility as well.
Yeah.
So my original thought was Nim. However, I've now realised obviously Nim's disengaged. And I don't really want to waste time trying to chase Nim. So This is where I think I'm going to probably end up switching to Jostero. Jostero is a bit easier to pin down, I think. And this is where it's really handy having the 2 locks, so I don't have to go, oh no, I've locked Nim and he's gone away. I could just leave Nim alone. Hopefully Nim will then, now he's out of the picture, it won't be too much of a threat and I can just pin down Jostero. So I kind of had to switch. So yeah, my initial thought was Nim, but obviously now switching to Jostero.
Makes a lot of sense. I think having flown against this list as part of a full list, Nim is very powerful and very scary. Genius is a great upgrade, although Genius is technically shut down now because Nim's dropped a concussion bomb. Unless he recharges that, he has to drop a concussion bomb every turn until it's gone. So he can't now trigger Genius. But the seismic charge Genius dropped earlier was really good. So we do have a Jostero sandwich there. I believe that Ben has decided not to use... he's used Nim's ability to not trigger that concussion bomb right now. Because I think it would only hit Jostero, so that makes sense. You don't want to concussion bomb your own ship.
So I'm not sure if I got the bullseye lined up for a double tap.
No. That, I think, was Tycho as well there with the first shot. Now going Cora with the range 1.
Oh, that's not great.
That is just disappointing. So you've got Predator, you've got Fire Control.
Yeah, so I wanted to build it to maximize the double tap. So I wanted
Yeah.
to build it so I didn't really have to spend my lock because Corin's quite difficult where you can't acquire a lock at range 1. So I thought if I can leave the lock on there and then just use rerolls with Fire Control and Predator. So even without spending the lock, hopefully I could just keep the lock on there and just constantly get 2 rerolls.
Yeah. And that is one of the downsides with the E-Wing. It's only at range 1 that you can't get that lock, but by the 4th, 5th turn of most normal games, you're going to be living in that range 1 bubble. So unless you really disengage and go elsewhere. So it looks like Predator
I've kept the lock.
and Predator Fire Control. So you had it. You're saving the
Yeah, because essentially I want double mods I want mods for both shots.
yeah.
Otherwise, a lot of the times the double tap doesn't really do a lot.
And also, looking at the position now, where Jostera and yourself are, it's likely that whatever move you do, there's the potential that you're going to be able to reacquire the lock next turn anyway. Because I can imagine you'll be out of range 1. Oh, that's...
This is where I think he tries to spend my focus. We had a bit of a chuckle. He thought that he had a focus token, and I was like, "No, I know you're Scum. You're not payload. You're not payload. You can't steal my token." Okay, so this is a double tap.
Much
That's better. Got a reroll.
3 hits. You know what?
Shame I didn't get 4.
Oh,
great reply.
What a good
that feels so bad.
That's always the downside with the double tap. To be honest, we've seen Jostera do some great double tapping already in this season, but yeah, it is unfortunate. I mean, to be honest, again, Corin Hall's double tap is just sort of like an extra little bonus on having an i5 E-Wing, because they've got great stats, 3s across the board. You can pack quite a few things in there. Obviously, I think normally I'd be looking to take potentially an R4 astromech, but in this setting, an R3 astromech actually works really well.
Yeah, an R4 is really great on Corin.
Yeah.
It changes his style immensely. He all of a sudden becomes a dogfighter, because all of a sudden you've now got a white hard 1.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It really does mix it up, and I mean, I was a little bit surprised when second edition came out, because obviously the E-Wing and the TIE Defender came out at the same time. They're part of the same wave, but the Defender obviously got the extra shield, whereas the E-Wing sort of got left a little bit behind. So far behind, in fact, that it's still not even actually back in standard play. But I mean, they did tease it a while ago, so eventually we might get it. But yeah, giving you a white hard 1 and then all of your 2s being blue as well, it really opens up that dial for you. Get that range 3, get that lock outside of range 3, and then zip in and you're just dancing around your opponent.
Might be able to line up a rocket here.
Yeah.
Barrel roll focus.
I'm just looking at the device that has been dropped.
So it was a concussion.
But that's a side token.
But Nim held on to it.
Yeah, so he dropped a concussion last round, which he held on to, which is absolutely fine.
Or it might be a seismic. I'm not sure, because I think at one point he didn't have enough bomb tokens.
Oh, so it could be a double.
I think he might have used that and said, I think that might be a seismic, but he didn't have the right token.
Okay, that's fine.
So it's possible it could be a seismic charge. So he held on to that one last turn, so he has to detonate 1 this turn.
Yeah, so he has to detonate 1 this turn, and it looks like it's going to be the concussion that is detonating. Now, this does deal a face-down damage card that goes under shields, which is scary, and it can be is exposed, so then, and that's the key word, then, each ship at range 0 to 1 must expose 1 damage card unless it chooses to gain 1 strain token. So, what has actually happened here, and there's a bit of a discussion around it, is that you decided not to take the strain on Tycho. So revealed that dial and revealed that card, and it was actually a direct hit. Then the discussion then becomes, well, firstly, obviously, if it is a direct hit and you take 2 hull damage, you are down, because if you have 0 hull, no matter how good your shields are, it's not holding you together. But there then becomes the discussion that if you do pull a direct hit, does that damage go onto the shields or does it go onto the hull? Obviously, Benji being the great player here is because we had it was such a weird discussion, and we didn't want, obviously you didn't want to just lose a ship like that. Ben didn't want to take you out like that when
Yeah, I think we came to a nice friendly agreement.
So
that both of us were happy to reverse the decision.
Yeah. So you took the strain, which means you didn't expose it. So you've taken the damage under the shield, which is fine.
I think I think either outcome, I think Tycho is dead anyway. So.
And Jostero has taken your last 2 shields there. So you're down to 1. So Tycho is likely to die. But, obviously a little bit later down the line, one of the other players was like, but if you take a direct hit, even with a concussion bomb under the shields, surely that would just take a shield. So it's an interesting one. It's one of those very infrequently seen things. But yeah. All these fun shenanigans tend to turn up when we're doing Flight Academy. A couple of games ago we had the question, does Talonbane still get his range 3 bonus even with munitions? Sure what the debate is here.
I think we're still talking about the
I think this concussion. Is where someone queried the direct hit side of things. But that is a couple more damage going into Jostero there. And it is a real shame that Corin is obviously disabled from his double tapping. Because you could have possibly initiative PS killed him there. But you can survive this.
I need a good roll.
You just need 2.
That's not 2.
I mean, it was 2 blanks. I mean, obviously you'd have preferred everything else. Oh, that's a tough one. On a plus side, Tycho's only 4 points. So like we were saying in the previous game, both of you are playing the 6 and 4 gambit. So losing 4 points isn't as devastating as losing, say, a 5-point ship and then getting halved on another one when you're up against a 6-4. But it's going to be interesting to see. So there's another... Yeah, so that would have been...
Nim just spitting out bombs all over the place.
Yeah, he's kind of got to. I mean, your target now is to try and take out Jostero. Or half-point Nim, which you're not all that far off doing, actually. If you half-point Nim, half points on both is a solid 5. Which, again, we mentioned about that 6, like the 6 points, 4 points. If you half-point 2 5-point ships, you still only get 4 points because you round down. So if you're running 5 and 5 versus someone running 6 and 4, if you half-point the 6 and 4 and they half-point you, you win with 1 point.
So breaks the lock going over the gas cloud. Ooh.
You have... Yeah, you've got a shot there, easy. You got the shot. Focus, nice.
It's a free shot.
It's a free shot. It's a strange shot.
Nim strained, yeah. Might be my opportunity.
Well, it looks like that might have been a size of it, but it's had no impact. But range 1, Nim is strained, so has no tokens. You need
good roll.
3.
There's 3.
There's 3, that's half points.
Shame the lock isn't gone, because I could have had a re-roll.
Yeah, but
just enough to get half points.
Just enough to squeeze the half points, which gets you 5 points, which gets you the win. Oh, that was a tight one. And unfortunately, I was distracted with the other game.
I think we didn't realise that time had gone then.
Yeah,
we still wanted to carry on playing.
The timer on my laptop that was keeping time for you wasn't the loudest, and first night we were recording Flight Academy, it was very loud in stores. So, yeah, the dials have gone down. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too late. But, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it would have been interesting to watch this game carry on, but I'd be curious as to where it goes. But as it is, that is game, and that puts you 2-0, Ben. So, a good start.
That was a close one there.
Oh, very close. Those bombs on Tycho, bombs and double tap from Jostero really did a number on Tycho. And I see what I mean. He's a tricky one to fly. He is tricky. Yeah. But, you know what? This is one of the best formats to try and learn how to fly a ship, because if it goes wrong, the game doesn't last that long and you can come back and try again quite quickly. So, that's not too bad there. But I hope it wasn't too stressful watching your own game back there, Ben.
No, it's good fun. It was a good match and a good list to fly up against. Really enjoyed this one.
2 great lists, in my opinion. 2 great lists, and I'm looking forward to seeing how our game goes when we get round to that. But
carnage as usual, I'm sure.
Oh, always. But guys, there we go. That is game 6. Another win for Ben there. So thank you all so very much for watching. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.